Rama, Shri 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 Rama. Namaste, Jai Shri Krishna. Today, so I would like to call upon Diwan Bhai and Leila Ben. Please come here.
Today, we gather to honor the memory of a remarkable man, my father. He was a guiding light in our lives, a source of strength and wisdom. His presence brought warmth to all who knew him, and his absence leaves a void that can never be filled. My father was a man of integrity, compassion, and unwavering love. He taught me the value of hard work, kindness, and perseverance. His legacy lives on in the lessons he imparted, the memories shared, and the love that will always bind us together. Though he may no longer be with us in his body, his spirit remains alive in our hearts. He will be dearly missed. He'll be dearly missed, but his presence will continue to inspire and guide us in our lives. Thank you so much to everyone that has taken time away from their busy lives to come and celebrate my father's life. And thank you for all the support and messages from everyone here, from everyone that's watching the stream, everyone. We really appreciate it on behalf of the Kassan family. Rest in peace, my dear father. Your love and light will shine on us forever.
Everything my dad did was full of passion and love and devotion and a lot of coffee. Music was such an important aspect in my dad's life, and it was some of the most fond memories I have with my dad is him dancing in the lounge with my mom, listening to the radio, or him singing me the Beatles, specifically Strawberry Fields. Even whatever I had, whatever school event, whatever art event, whatever music recital I had, my dad would be there. My dad was the one who took me to those places. He took me to all my extra classes, and he's the reason why I'm here today. And of course, my dad did name me after a song, the song Layla by Eric Clapton, and I can still hear his voice singing it to me. I truly had the best childhood. My dad was such an amazing man, and he had a way with kids and with animals, of course. He used to read me stories when I was younger after coming home from a long day of work, and he would sit with me until I fell asleep. And often I think he fell asleep as well. Small memories like him driving down the driveway in his blue S4 while I'm sticking out my head in the top. Those who know my dad will know that how much he loved that car. He was the biggest, most proud person of his kids. He loved us so much. Every chance he got to, he would tell people that, hey, this is my daughter, this is where she's studying, Yeah, he was just the best dad. And a really amazing person. Thank you.
Now I would like to call upon Kaushik Bhai Daya.
I'm not afraid to stand in public and talk, but today, unfortunately, I am. My name is Kaushik, for those who don't know me. I've had the proud honor of befriending Neilesh for over 50 years. We are family, we're friends, and we were neighbors in the newly formed Malabar at the time, and that's when we first met. We lived across the road from each other. And we grew up in an era where it was a pleasant place to be. It was the wrong thing to have happened, but it was a pleasant place to be. And I say pleasant because we grew up in a neighborhood where every house child, or every house in our close circuit, had a boy child. And we were able to form our own soccer teams, our own cricket teams, play tennis in the street. That's when Malabar didn't have too much traffic and we could play in the street. And this friendship formed all those years back. And it never stopped. Never ever stopped. So in Malabar we were blessed with good neighbors. We were blessed with family. We were blessed with everything around us. And we had the circle of friends that had everybody's best interest at heart. It had the sense of family. Despite you being from a different household, you belonged to this family. Our gathering place was 120 Mountview Drive, the Kassan household. The backyard was our sports field. And we had an amazing childhood. Neilesh's circle of friends is not limited to those we know and those we see here today. His circle of friends extends way beyond that. I refer to him as the mayor of East London. Because if you're in East London and you go with Neilesh to the spa or you go somewhere or the other, Dr. Kassan, everybody's going to know Dr. Kassan, and Neilesh is my patient. And it was really, really heartwarming to see the interaction. It was really, he always greeted with a warm and friendly, robust hug or handshake, and he made you feel welcome in his company. He made you feel really, really special for that few minutes of interaction that he had with you. And it's the same way I felt about our friendship. We enjoyed each other's company. We got to see each other infrequently, but we did get to see each other on a regular basis, at least 2 or 3 times a year. And it was always such a pleasure to host him or to be hosted by him, Yeah, like Leila said, the coffee would flow from some awkward hour of the morning until late at night. You'd be bouncing off the walls after all the cups of coffee you'd have with Neilesh. But it was good. It was really, really, really special. It's a friendship that hard to repeat. Hard to repeat. I'm blessed with very good friends. And please, I don't mean this in a bad way. I probably treasured the Neilesh friendship the most of all. It was just at a different level. It was special. Really, really special. So Neilesh also made huge effort, and a lot of you can attest to this, in staying in touch with everybody. Really, really making the effort. If you don't phone, he's going to call you. And it's never a short conversation. It's a 30-minute minimum conversation. This conversation, and I think you would identify with it. What I've written here is that the conversations were peppered with vulgarities that only Neilesh was licensed to use in a normal conversation. And if somebody who didn't know the friendship or who Neilesh was and listened to that conversation would ask, how do you even tolerate being spoken to like that? But you know what? Hey, this was Neilesh. You're not going to change him for anything. That's what he is. Neilesh's love, pride, and joy was his family. He was surrounded by an extended family. Besides Nirusha, Diva, and Leila, he had this family, both Nirusha's family, the Kassan family, the Valkmaria family. Beyond that, he had this network of people that, just pick up the phone and stay in touch. But they loved and cared for him. And, Neilesh went through times of need. When he was ill 12 years ago, it was bad, right? But I think the love, the positive vibration, people rallying around him at the time was what saw him through. He was able to get up, dust himself off, carry on. And it was good to see that. It was really nice to have this person back and on his feet and really, really working at improving himself. And it was really nice to see that. Neilesh moved to East London in the mid-90s, and I think initially it was to take on a locum job in East London for 2 or 3 months. And 30 years later, he's still in East London, never got back to going to PE. And he made East London his home. And I think the people of East London made him feel very welcome, made him feel at home, as much as he tried, wanted to settle into the community. And he was very well loved. And like I said, you go somewhere with Neilesh, somebody's bound to know him. And somebody will stop to talk, or he will stop to talk to somebody. Today we celebrate the life of my dear friend, who as a father, husband, son, brother, son-in-law, nephew, and every other adjective you can think of, he fulfilled his duty as a caring and loving soul. Neilesh really went beyond. He really, really, really embraced anybody and everybody. And in the same breath, I have to mention Neilesh's dogs. He loved and cared for them passionately. And they in turn absolutely adored him. They worshipped the ground that Neilesh walked on. And not too long ago, Neilesh came to spend a weekend with me. And my dogs are, I'd like to think, equally attracted to me. And within a few minutes of Neilesh being in my house, I'd lost my title. Because the dogs just were attracted to him, and wherever he went and he slept and that type of thing, that's where they would be, But he had this magnetism. He has, not only with us, not only with, his circle of friends and that type of thing. He had this natural magnetism that any soul was attracted to. Nirusha, I have an incredible amount of gratitude and respect for you. Aside from tolerating a sometimes very grumpy Neilesh, you stood by his side through all the turbulent times. You fulfilled your duty as a wife, a mother, and a daughter, all whilst you juggled a schedule of running a business, a household, doing everything you possibly could. I don't know if any of us could ever understand that schedule, but you handled it like only Nirusha can. And thank you. Thank you. Divan, Leila, you guys were the apple of your dad's eye. He was incredibly proud of both of you and would want nothing more to see or to live a life well lived and be the best version of yourselves. He's given you license to do that. He's given you the freedom to do that. And the best way to honor him is to absolutely do that. We celebrate the life of Neilesh. We celebrate the good friendship, the family bonds. We celebrate everything about his life. And I don't think he'd want us to be sad. I don't think he'd want us to shed a tear. He'd want us to enjoy this time together. It's, everyone we spoke to this morning who had flown in or from East London and that type of thing, the first words are, sorry that we have to meet under these circumstances. And it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that we meet this thing. We've got to commit to spending more time together and enjoying each other while we can. The reality for our age group is that, potentially the next time we all meet will probably be another funeral. And that's the sad reality of it. It's left to us to make the attempt and meet more often. And even if it's just to have a drink and say hello, we really all need to do that. So today we celebrate Neilesh, the good, the bad, the funny, and most often inappropriate times that we had with Neilesh. We celebrate our friendship and the many friends made through knowing Neilesh. A lot of the people I know here is because of my association with Neilesh. And it's really special to celebrate that. And in closing, fly high, my dear friend. Until we meet again, rest in peace.
I would like to call upon Farhad Bhai.
Namaste and good afternoon, family and friends. I wrote a few words last night on my phone. Too many good optometrists and my eyesight is failing me, so I'm going to try my best. I stand here before you today as a representative of a group of friends who met some 33 plus years ago when we were all students at the University of Durban, Westville. It was the beginning of a friendship that lasts until today. We became known as the MBC family. The reason behind the name will take some time, so we'll leave it for another time. And despite a post-university life of marriages, careers, moving to new cities, health scares, this MBC family has managed to maintain our bond. We've managed to keep the ties that unite us. And this morning, Nirusha used a phrase where she talked about a soul family. And I think Nirusha, we somewhat subscribe as the embassy to that soul family, where we touch each other's lives in various ways over time, through all circumstances, high and low, and always be there for each other and leave no one behind. To us, Neely, Niels, or Mr. Cousins, as we affectionately knew him, was a brother who we loved and who loved us back unconditionally and equally. As students in Durban, many of us were from out of town, and we had very little. But those bonds kept us together and allowed us to thrive, allowed us to take care of each other and leave no one behind. And Neely was exceptional in this regard. As we've heard, he was just such an incredible, kind, and caring human being. Whether it was taking us to his mum in Chapel Street for a meal, or copying class notes for us, or sitting up with us till odd hours of the morning cramming because we had all not been ready for the test or exam and just giving each other strength, or whether he was getting hammered with us as we partied, or commiserated, or celebrated, he was always by our side. We were all, every single one of us, in awe of his amazing world-class Rizzler rolling skills. And when he had a few drinks, in the days when he used to drink, he became this world champion player. His shots were extremely unbelievable. But this was, like many other aspects of Neely's personality, the perfection that he tried to bring in everything that he did. Whether it was his dress, whether it was his relationships, whether it was anything, he tried to bring his own perfection to it. Now, Neely's classic humor was top-drawer stuff. A close friend of ours of the MBC Club, Dave Roberts, who is live streaming from the Shetland Islands today, Dave reminded me yesterday of one of these top-drawer classic jokes. We were all students on the Pelo Pepa train. It is a healthcare train that travels through the country, and us as optometrists had some 2 weeks on the train, and there were 5 of us friends on board this train. We came through Stutterheim and we ended up in Cathcart. Now, for those of you who may know Cathcart, it's this tiny little dorpie, I think about 130 kilometers from here. And we got off the train, and Dave said something to us along the lines of, geez, this is a bit of a one-horse town. And Neely, without missing a beat, replied, yeah, and it looks like the horse effed off already. His colorful language, as Kaushik explained, his colorful language, along with his love for coffee and his personality, went up a few gears after he had his stroke. And he used to have us in fits of laughter as he tried to remember people's names or tried to describe things. And Nirusha, being the wonderful human being that she is, came to the party, stepped up to the plate, and helped him to get back his vocabulary, and helped him to become better. And his own resilience and fortitude that comes from his upbringing came to the fore, and he wanted to become better. True to his kind and caring nature, he used to phone all of us very often, and Kaushik was a little bit diplomatic. Maaf, Guruji, I'm going to be a little less diplomatic here. You know what I'm talking about. He would phone and say, how's it? Hoe gaan dit? How the F are you? How's your effing broer-in-law? And then later, as he started to remember names, he would say, when last did you see that effing chommy of ours, Hirikaka? Or, those kind of things. But that was him. And like Kaushik said, he would engage with you on the phone, help you to remember him, to help him remember who he was talking about, the names. And those conversations are something which will stick in our minds forever because they were so special. But true to his caring nature, when my grandmother passed away in Johannesburg, Neely came to Joburg, and I asked him why. And he said, because Nani was my grandmother too. That was his nature. I'll never forget after that stroke, Nirusha, being this strong, remarkable woman that she is, said to us, life is short and we have to now start making memories, and good memories. And we did that. We went on family holidays. We went on experiences and events, and we made sure we made those memories. And Nirusha made sure that he was able to live his absolute best life. Thank you, Nirusha. And was a lesson in love and relationship to all of us. Katie reminded me in the car coming from the airport this morning how when we were in Cathcart, we were coming to the end of our 2-week stay, and we were sitting outside the train now. We were going on to Umtata to meet friends, and he was talking about how much he's missing Nirusha and how much he loves her. And we got to Umtata, and within 30 minutes, they were at each other's throats in a loving way. But this was the relationship that we all learned about love and marriage from. On top of this, he was also, our good friend Mr. Kassan was also a catalyst to some of our marriages. Through him, I met his brother Ash. When I moved to Cape Town through Ash, I met my wife Rashmi, who grew up with Ash and Nili in PE. And with Ash, through me, met his wife Farah, who is my aunt. Because of one singular human being who loved and cared so much. He created so much love. His love for Divan and Leila was always unconditional and beyond measure. Like Koshikaka said, he was so, so proud of you guys. But you guys were so incredibly blessed to have Nili as your dad. Our brother, we will all miss you so much. We will miss your kind-hearted generosity, your affectionate, caring nature. We will miss your calls filled with foul, effing language and laughter. I will miss coming every so often to East London, coming home, spending time with you, standing outside with Dada and having a smoke and just catching up. It was the highlight of my trips to East London. We will all miss you so much, Niels, but we will never, ever allow your memory to be forgotten. As the MBC family, who are fully represented here today from around the country, we promise that we will continue to celebrate you and your remarkable life, along with Nirusha, Divan, and Leila, always and forever. Go well and fly free, our brother. Look over us and be our guidance and our protection until we meet again. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
I would like to call upon Pradeep Bhai Daya.
Namaste, Namaste, Jai Sri Krishna. On behalf of the East London Hindu Society, we'd like to extend our deepest condolences to the Kassan family and to all friends who have gathered here today. You know, Neilesh Bhai was a smiler. You know, if he'd come visit me, he's smiling and his handshake is there. How's it, bud? How are you? A long time no see. He was that guy, and if he made me smile and I made him smile, and so the conversation continued. I love Neilesh Bhai because whenever he came there, yeah, he was a family man. You could see, you know, you say, "Hey, how's your dad? How's your mom? How's your brother?" He wants to inquire about everybody, and this is the Neilesh Bhai I know, you know, and he'll be missed by many people here, I'm sure. And lastly, on behalf of the family, on behalf of Hindu Society, and one thing, the Kassan family with Neilesh Bhai has always been there for Samaj work and Samaj donations or whatever, they always contributed towards the Samaj. And the Samaj thank you for that, and thank Neilesh Bhai also for that. And lastly, I would like to just say that may Neilesh Bhai's soul attain moksha. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti.
ॐ त्वमादिदेवः पुरुषः पुराण स्वमस्य विश्वस्य परं निधानं वेतासि वेद्यं च परं च धाम तमं त्वया तदं विश्वमनन्तरूपः हे अनंतरूप आप आदिदेव तथा पुराण पुरुष છો તમે આ વિશ્વનું પરમ આશ્રય સ્થાન તથા જાણનાર જાણવા યોગ્ય અને પરમ આશ્રય છો આપનાથી આ સમસ્ત જગત પરિપૂર્ણ છે વાસાંસ જીર્ણાની યથા વિહાય નવાની ગૃહ્ણાતિ નરો પરાણી તથા શરણાની વિહાય જીર્ણા નવા નન્યાની સંયાતિ નવાની દેવી આત્મા જેમ મનુષ્ય જૂના વસ્ત્ર તજીને બીજા નવા વસ્ત્ર ધારણ કરે છે તેમ જીવાત્મા જૂના શરીર છોડીને બીજા નવા શરીરને પ્રાપ્ત કરે છે ન જાયતે બ્રિયતે વા કદાચિન નાયમ ભૂતવા ભવિતા વા ન ભૂય અજો નિત્ય શાશ્વતયમ પુરાણ ન હન્યતે હન્યમાને શરીરે આત્મા જનતો નથી મૃત્યુ પામતો નથી જન્મરહિત નિત્ય શાશ્વત અનાદિ છે તેથી શરીર નાશ થતાં આત્માનો નાશ થતો નથી નૈનમ છિંદંતી શસ્ત્રાણી નૈનમ દહતી પાવક ન ચૈનમ કલદેત્યાપી ન શોષયતી મારુતઃ આત્માના શસ્ત્ર છેદી શકતા નથી અગ્નિ બાળી શકતો નથી પાણી પરાળી શકતું નથી પવન સૂકવી શકતો નથી જાતસ્ય ધ્રુવ મૃત્યુ ધ્રુવમ જન્મ મૃત્યુશ્ચ તસ્માદ પરિહાર્યાર્થે નતમ શોચિતુમ હર્ષિ જન્મેદાનું મૃત્યુ નિશ્ચિત છે મરણાનો જન્મ પણ નિશ્ચિત છે તેથી આ ઉપાયના વગરના વિષયમાં શોક કરવો અયોગ્ય નથી અવ્યક્તાદિની ભૂતાની વ્યક્ત મધ્યાની ભારત અવ્યક્તાની ધનયો તત્ર કાપરે દેવના હે ભારત પ્રાણી માત્ર જન્મ પહેલાં સૂક્ષ્મ રૂપે હતા માત્ર મધ્યકાળમાં શરીર પ્રાપ્ત થાય છે મૃત્યુ પછી સૂક્ષ્મ રૂપે છે તેથી તે માટે શોક કરવો યોગ્ય નથી ઓમ વેદા હમેતમ પુરુષમ મહાંતમ આદિત્ય વર્ણ તપસ પ્રસ્તામ તમેવ વિદિતા મૃત્યુમેતિ નાન્યપંતા વિદ્યતે જનાય સર્વથી મહાન પ્રકાશસ્વરૂપ વિજ્ઞાનમય અવિદ્યાથી રહિત એવા પરમેશ્વરનો સાક્ષાત્કાર કરવા માટે મથું છું કારણ કે તે જાણીને મનુષ્ય મૃત્યુ પર વિજય મેળવે છે અને પરમ સુખને પ્રાપ્ત કરે છે એ સિવાય મોક્ષનો બીજો કોઈ માર્ગ નથી ઓમ ય આત્મદા વરદા યશ્ય વિશ્વ ઉપાસતે પ્રશંસમ યસ્ય દેવા યચ્છાયામૃતમ યચ્છ મૃત્યુ કસ્મય દેવાય હવિષા વિદેમ જે પ્રભુ આત્મિક અને માનસિક શક્તિ આપનાર છે જ્ઞાનીઓ જેની ઉપાસના કરે છે જેનું વિષ્ણુ સંચાલન પ્રશંસનીય છે તથા જેના આશ્રયમાં મનુષ્ય અમરતાને પ્રાપ્ત કરે છે વિયોગ મૃત્યુ લાવનાર બંને છે આનંદ સ્વરૂપ પરમાત્માને અમે અમારી સર્વ ભાવનાઓ સમર્પિત કરીએ છીએ ઓમ સૂર્યમ ચ ચક્ષુર ગચ્છતુ વાત્મા ધ્યામ ચ ગચ્છ પૃથ્વીમ ચ ધર્મણા અપોવા ગચ્છયતિ તત્ર તે હિતમ ઓષિતુ પ્રતિષ્ઠિતા શરીરે હે જીવ તમારા શરીરના સમસ્ત તત્વ મહાન સૃષ્ટિમાં વિલીન થાવ આંખો તેજ તત્વ અગ્નિમાં વિલીન થાવ તેમજ આ ચેતન તત્વ આત્મતત્વ બીજા લોકમાં યોગ્ય શરીરને પ્રાપ્ત થાવ ઓમ શમગ્ને પશ્ચાત તપસ પૃચ્છાદ મુત્તરાચ મધ્યરતભેદમ એકે સ્ત્રેદા વિહિતો જાત વેદ સૌમ્યગેન દેહી સુકૃતામ લોકે બધાને કર્મો પ્રમાણે તપાવનાર પરમાત્મા અમૃત દેહના આત્માને દરેક દિશાની ગતિમાં શાંતિ આપો તેમજ આ જીવાત્માને પુણ્ય આત્માનો લોકમાં સદગતિ પ્રાપ્ત કરાવો ઓમ સંગચ્છસ્વ પિતૃભી સંયમેશના પૂર્તન પ્રમેવ્યો હિત્વાયા વાદ્ય પુનસ્તમે સંગચ્છસ્વ તન્વા સૃચાહ હે જીવ તમારા તપ સાધના અને સત્કર્મોના આધારે તમારા પિતૃઓ સાથે ઉત્કૃષ્ટ અવસ્થાને પ્રાપ્ત થાવ નિષ્પાપ બનીને ઉત્તમ શરીર ધારીને સંસારમાં બાકી રહેલા શુભ કર્મો કરવામાં આવે ઓમ વાયુરનીલમૃતમ ભસ્મા તરગ્ગુ શ્રીરમ ઓમ ક્રતોસ્મર ક્રતગુ સ્મર ક્રતોસ્મર ક્રતગુ સ્મર હે જીવ શરીરનું ચેતન પાંચ ભૂતોનું નથી પરંતુ અમર છે શરીર તો બળીને ભસ્મથી નાશ પામશે માટે હે કર્મશીલ મનુષ્ય પરમાત્માનું સ્મરણ કર કર્મોનું સ્મરણ કર અને કર્મ પ્રમાણે ફળ આપનાર ભગવાનનું સ્મરણ કર એક એવ શુદ્ધ ધર્મો નિધનેપ્ય નુયાતિ યહ શરીરેણ સમમ નાશમ સર્વમન્યદ્વી ગચ્છતિ આ શરીર સાથે સર્વ વસ્તુનો નાશ સર્જાયો છે પરંતુ ધર્મ એક એવો સાચો મિત્ર છે જે મૃત્યુ પછી પણ જીવાત્મા સાથે સંકળાયેલો રહે છે તે ધર્મનો નાશ ન થવા દેવો જોઈએ કેમ કે નાશ પામનો ધર્મ આપણો પણ નાશ કરે છે ઓમ અસતો મામ સદગમય તમસો મામ જ્યોતિર્ગમય મૃત્યોરમાં અમૃતમ ગમય હે પ્રભુ અમને અસત્યમાં સત્યમાં લઈ જાઓ અંધકારમાંથી પ્રકાશમાં લઈ જાઓ મૃત્યુમાંથી અમૃતમાં લઈ જાઓ હે પરમ દયાળુ સર્વને ત્રિવિધ દુઃખથી રહિત કરીને શાશ્વત શાંતિ આપો ઓમ રીમ અનાદિનિધો દેવ શંખચક્ર ગદાધર અક્ષય પુંડરીકાક્ષ પ્રેત મોક્ષપ્રદભવ હે પરમાત્મા ભગવાન શ્રી વિષ્ણુ આ જીવાત્માને મોક્ષની ગતિની પ્રાપ્તિ કરાવજો નીલેશભાઈ when I was thinking about કે ભાઈ when I start the પ્રાર્થના what language must I use English or Gujarati so whenever we meet each other many times, many occasions, checkers, spas, wherever we meet. I used to greet him, hello, namaste, how are you? He says, Kem cho majama? So today I have decided to give him a tribute in a Gujarati. So basically, Neilesh Bhai, when I mentioned about his soul was divine. And with that divine soul, the one thing is many few people in the world we can get it is, as just recently Pradeep Bhai spoke about smiley face. No matter wherever you meet, no matter how you meet, the first thing comes on his face is smile. And then second thing, he talks to me, cricket. Because every time he knows, okay, I like the cricket, so we start our conversation with the cricket, either IPL or India, whatever it is. But cricket, we start with the cricket and end with the cricket. That was the Neilesh Bhai. And as far as I talk about, I cannot say too much, but when I mention about the divine soul, so I would like to tell the family members, divine soul depart on the divine days. So this soul has departed today, but where? So then he went to the dham of the Bhagwan Shiva. Bhagwan Shiv, with his entire divine cosmic power, has arrived, because in 2 days' time we are going to celebrate Hindu calendar is Mahashivaratri. One of the biggest festival in Hindu calendar we are going to celebrate. So whenever we celebrate the big days, the divine cosmic energies automatically enter in this world. And those energies take those divine souls. So he chose this day. And those days were selected by the Bhagwan Shiva himself. And that is why I would like to tell the family, as much as we feel pain, we feel sorrow. But is his soul in the feet of the divine Bhagwan Shiva. Tomorrow, as we are going to be immersed the ashes, tomorrow will be the Ekadashi, Hari and her. So what more we want, that's all we want for the soul. Body, as Bhagavad Gita says, the soul changed the body, but soul remain a soul. So we are praying for the soul, that soul enter into divine cosmic universe power. So I would like to ask all of us to raise at our position, and we're going to chant 3 times Gayatri Mantra, and then rest of things will be continue after that. Om Bhurvuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I would like to request the family members to please come downstairs for the final rites.